Now on WAND News.
Missile strikes on Iran continue, demolishing buildings.
We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it.
The White House says it could last for several weeks. We have the latest from Washington, also at 4.
The intent is clear. Domestic violence victims deserve protection.
A bill moving in Springfield could help close gaps in protections. Where it heads now.
Some of us still have a little bit of blue in the sky. The rest of us, mainly cloudy. That's how we're heading into this evening. In fact, we're starting to add raindrops back into the equation. I've got details on the rain chances. That's coming up.
And bird brain. Bird watching could be good for overall brain health. A closer look at the impacts of the hobby right now at 4.
Well, right now at 4, airstrikes in Iran continue after the U.S. and Israel launch an attack on Iran's supreme leader.
Reactions pouring in today, and the effects of the conflict could be felt in the U.S. soon.
Yeah, but in central Illinois today, that cold weather sinks in once again. We will get to that full forecast with Olivia in just a moment. But first, the top story today is Israel and the U.S. continue bombing Iran. The Pentagon says 6 American service members have died.
Tonight, President Trump is defending the decision to join Israel in attacking Iran. Gary Grumbach has more on Operation Epic Fury.
The United States and Israel continuing to pound Iran with bombs and missiles for a third straight day. President Trump at the White House explaining why he decided to attack now, after weeks of negotiations with the Iranians.
Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat.
Iran and its allies responding with drone and missile attacks across the region, hitting targets in at least 10 Middle East countries, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. Dramatic video after Kuwait shot down 3 American F-15 fighter jets in an apparent friendly fire incident. All 6 crew members survived. The Pentagon confirming today 4 U.S. service members have now died after an Iranian attack in Kuwait over the weekend. The president insisting Operation Epic Fury is ahead of schedule after the initial barrage killed nearly 50 top Iranian leaders, including the Ayatollah.
Right from the beginning, we projected 4 to 5 weeks, but we have capability to go far longer than that. We'll do it.
The conflict stranding hundreds of thousands of travelers caught in the middle. Americans like Oliver Sims finding themselves unable to get back to the U.S. with airports and airspace across the Middle East suddenly shut down.
I have no idea as to how I'm going to get out of here. Some people are thinking about going and driving to other countries and then catching flights out of there. And so I'm still weighing several different options.
I don't think they know what they are doing.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats slamming the president's decision to go to war.
They've spent through billions of dollars already. I think folks at home want cheaper health care, cheaper housing. I go on and on. They don't want billions spent on unnecessary wars overseas and Americans coming home in flag-draped caskets.
The White House is briefing top congressional leaders from both parties on Operation Epic Fury today, and will meet with all members of Congress tomorrow. A bipartisan group of lawmakers says it will vote on a bill this week to rein in President Trump's ability to take further action in Iran. But even if it passes, the president will likely veto it. Gary Grumbach, NBC News, Washington.
Now, gas prices are starting to climb as the war with Iran rattles global oil markets. Analysts say even steeper increases are likely coming soon. According to AAA, the national average for regular gas was just under $3 a gallon. That's up about 6 cents from a week ago. Analysts say drivers could see prices rise 5 to 10 cents a day in the short term. Let's take a look locally. Illinois' average is $3.05 in the Decatur area. The average price for a gallon of gas, $2.87. In the Springfield area, it's $2.90, and in Champaign, $2.91. Effingham sits at a low spot at $2.72.
Well, good afternoon and happy Monday to you. The view across our Lake Decatur camera is kind of a total opposite when you compare it to our view across Bloomington. They have blue skies out there. It's sunny, right? So we've had a little bit of some variance to the forecast. Some of us were able to get some sunshine. You notice that there's clearer skies the farther north you go. Really what it is we've got a lot of clouds still streaming in across that I-72 and Illinois Route 16 corridor, but Heading farther south, even areas along the Carlinville, Vandalia area saw some clearing as well. Even still, though, we saw temperatures match up to that as well. 46 degrees out in Bloomington, right? Much warmer out that way for 39 degrees over Decatur and 37 over Jacksonville. A little bit milder where we have a lot more clouds. Now, all of us are getting back into those upper 30s as we head into this evening. We're getting ready for those clouds to keep most of the heat at the surface, and we'll be warming up this week. But the real story will be the rain and the thunderstorms. I've got details on those storms coming up in just a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Olivia. Well, we are working to learn more about the sudden closure of the Chestnut Fire Department.
Mount Pulaski Rural Fire Protection District, which governs the Chestnut Department, suspended the department's operations. The Board of Trustees recently approved leadership change in the district, and the decision was made, quote, to ensure continued compliance with district policies. No other details were provided. The Mount Pulaski District says EMS and fire services will continue in the Chestnut territory. Well, an elderly woman's body discovered inside her Springfield home, and now her caretaker faces charges nearly 4 months later. Sangamon County coroner says 86-year-old Lily Prindle was dead for a, quote, long time before her body was discovered in November. The coroner says there was no sign of injury or trauma to Prindle. Court records show the woman's caretaker, Gina English Wheat, is charged with concealment of death. She was granted pretrial release, and she's due back in court March 12th.
A bill moving in Springfield could help close gaps in protection for survivors of domestic violence and stalking. The plan ensures emergency orders of protection remain in effect until the final order of protection has been served. This comes as many survivors are harassed and threatened under the current system, where emergency orders are no longer in effect after a judge grants a planning order.
This bill will mean protection for victims of abuse remains fully enforceable and protects survivors from dangerous loopholes and paperwork timing. The intent is clear. Domestic violence victims deserve protection all the way through the process.
The bill passed unanimously out of the Senate Criminal Law Committee last week. The full Senate could vote on this plan next week.
We're working to learn more about a crash that sent 7 people to the hospital. It happened overnight on I-72 near Argenta. According to the Argenta-Oriana Fire Department, crews were called out for a 3-vehicle crash. While on the way, another car was involved. Firefighters had to pull people out. In total, 7 people were taken to the hospital. We have reached out to learn more about their conditions. Starting today, the village of Moweaqua is under new leadership.
Yeah, over the weekend, the board appointed Angela Locke as mayor. She previously served as the finance personnel on the board. Her appointment comes after Mayor Sean Conlon resigned. Now, his resignation came amid the village's budget concerns. WAND News was the first to report the discovery of an overspending of the comp and overtime budgets. Village auditor Kevin Buckley recommended the board make budget cuts to avoid what he says would be financial disaster. Locke said she never imagined she would become mayor and is determined to work with colleagues and solve the obstacles the village is facing.
Hey, it's time to have some fun.
Always. We love having fun on the 4, right?
Yes, we do.
Which is why we got to put Ken Fry in the mix, because the Decatur Park District is rolling in with their spring calendar, what we can look forward to as we warm up. Well, the lake right now, calm, but in 6 days, people are going to be dressed in costumes. They're going to brace the waters for the polar plunge. There's still time to sign up. How you can get in on the fun.